Good afternoon. Welcome to the March 19th Clark County Fire District 6 Board of Commissioners meeting. I'd like to call this afternoon's meeting to order and ask that you join me in the pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. This time I'd ask for any additions to this afternoon's agenda. None here. Yeah, I did have one to add. It is date of our next meeting change. We'll tackle that under new business. We'll need to read and approve, post as necessary, the minutes of our March 4th board meeting. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor? Aye. Correspondence this afternoon. I didn't see anything uploaded. Citizen communication, citizens viewing this afternoon's meeting, communicate directly with the board using the chat feature that will be monitored throughout this afternoon's meeting. Executive session, the board will be moving into the executive session this afternoon. That'll be in accordance with RCW 42.30.110 parentheses 1 parentheses I. That's to discuss with legal counsel representing the district potential litigation to which the district may become a party. We expect 20 minutes. Okay. We'll reconvene at 4:20. The board met the executive session and took no action. Your reports, Fairgrounds Fire Facility Board, Commissioner Osbeck.
We did meet. Things are going well. I think we've taken care of our issues with the sheriff's office. We are going to put a door up in the hallway to provide some privacy and some quietness. They'll still be able to get into the data room, but they're going to keep their armory and they're going to keep their Zen room or relaxation room or whatever they have. So they're going to keep those right now. With the fire marshal moving out, it gave them some space to make it a lot easier. The rig out there was down for a period of time, so we used our rig, one of our rigs when we were there, and then they used one of their rigs when they were there. But I think it got repaired and it's back. It's had some door issues or whatever it was. But anyway, the captain from Hartford attends the meetings. He's doing a good job. He understands what's going on. I think things are going well. We had 110 calls last month. And 100 calls for the year, maybe. No?
It was about 110 calls.
For the year so far. Okay, for the day. But things are going well. Crews are working well together and there.
EMS District 2, Chief Maurer.
Yeah, so EMS District 2 work group met. They are looking at piggybacking onto the Vancouver contract, so they're working that through legal. We anticipate too at the next meeting that the EMS District 2 board will ask to have 2 more people added to their board, and one of those being a fire commissioner and one of those being a small city manager or city manager. So I did offer up that our board would be interested, and it sounds like they may go an alphabetical rotation type route. So we see what comes of it.
Alphabetical with who?
Alphabetical with the departments. So 3 then 6.
Oh,
Okay.
It all starts with Clark.
Okay.
That would be great. And part of that would be for us to still be able to use our ambulance if needed.
Yes.
And Bill.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And we are working with, sorry, I should have added that. We're working with the Clark County Fire District 3 to get that ambulance licensure. So we're both applying for that. We're doing our applications together. So it includes.
Thank you. Consent agenda.
Move for approval?
Second. Moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Chief's report, if you want to walk through those items.
So February overtime summary report, it was high again, but lower than last month. The total of $251,889.70. $182,000 of that was shift replacement overtime. again, we're still getting hit by those long-term, injuries that we have in the captain ranks, so. Hopefully we can get those back online and get that reduced.
I have a quick question. We have another, no name, we have another firefighter off on military leave.
I think it's just a short.
Short time's not a, but when he's on military leave, we continue to pay him. Or does the military pay him?
We have to, well, we'll still pay his back bill and everything too, so.
Okay, but as far as his salary, when he's,
We don't pay his salary, the military covers his salary, we pay his back.
he stays on the med, his family stays on medical and,
Yes,
okay, I was just curious, thank you.
I think for the state, right, it gets 20-some days of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
21 days.
Yep.
For the budget performance report, we anticipate at the end of February would be 16.6 expended, we're 12.9% in fire and 19.8 in EMS. Some of that increase in EMS is because of the life pack purchase that we did earlier this year. For the facility report, so summary of the 61 project, best estimate right now is there's approximately 2.4 million in expenses left to complete the Station 61 project. We have 1.6 remaining in the original contract. 322,000 of that is in remaining in owner furnished items, and 525,000 of that is remaining in potential change orders. So the original contract with 2UG for the 61 remodel was 8.6 million. Our contingency was 855,000, which was earmarked for change orders, owner furnished items, and other goods and services that we required. Therefore, our original budget was 9.5, and we estimate that our actual expenditures will be just a little over 10 million for a difference of approximately 540,000, or about 6% over budget in the 61 remodel. Change orders and potential change orders account for the majority of the overages. We've been tracking those change orders and assigning responsibility. So as of February, we assigned 39 of those change orders to the architect, totaling for 186,000 in change. Architect owner, meaning both of us had a part in the change order, was about $27,000. Conditions that they wouldn't have known before they got to the building accounts for 11 change orders at about $48,000. And code change is one, and that was with the elevator, and that accounts for $14,000. And then owner had about 19 change orders plus the concrete panels. So the change orders we had were 48,000, and then we wanted to finish up the concrete at 118,000. Cool. Station 63 pre-engineered metal building, we still owe $35,000 in retention to that building. But as of today, Pacific Tech still hasn't filed the paperwork with L&I, and so until that paperwork's filed, I can't release that retention.
Just a comment, while I'm not thrilled about all the change orders, I do think we were still wise to do the remodel as opposed to, I know we're at least 5 to 10 million cheaper than the scrape and rebuild and other departments in the Northwest are doing. So I appreciate where we're at, but I don't like change orders.
Except the concrete. The concrete panels had to be done, they were terrible. And I think they did it far cheaper than we could have had somebody come in and do it afterwards or already on site, so I think that was a good change order.
Thank you for the update. Old business, I didn't see any old business listed. New business quarterly update.
So the board asked that I provide a quarterly update on the goals that were outlined by the board for the fire chief, and I have that update for you guys. So we'll go over an overview of the goals, the progress tracking, the key initiatives, completed tasks, and next steps. The board gave me a total of 19 goals that they wanted completed or addressed in 2025. So those are the 19 goals that were outlined by the board. Progress so far, we completed 25% of the 19 goals. We have 55% of them we're working on and 20% are on hold. So paramedic training school, we're working on it. I say it's a low priority because we haven't had a problem getting interest in that program. So in 2023, we put 2 people through, and in 2024, we put 2 people through, and they're still in the program in 2025, should be completed by summertime this year. Then we'll have 2 more medics. The goal is to enroll 2 members per year. And again, those 2 members that we have currently in the program will be completing their training next quarter. EMS District 2, so we're working on that project. The priority is high. We've completed the RFP for study, so by completing it, I mean, we went out for RFP, we asked people to submit some information who weren't happy with the information provided, and so we skipped that step. We don't need to go out for our RFP for service if we piggyback, so we're currently in the process of looking at piggybacking on the City of Vancouver's contract. We've been meeting as fire chiefs in the county to make sure that our voices are heard and our needs are included in that piggyback contract. And we've also been working with Chief Blue, who has been amenable to looking at ways for efficiencies within the current contract. Still holding separate contracts, but willing to look at different ways that we can both alleviate a readiness fee within our contracts. So we anticipate negotiating that contract in July of 2025, and we'll have to have that in place at the end of 2025. That's when our current extension expires. So we're on track with EMS District 2. Just to add to that too, like I said earlier, we are working with District 3 and getting that ambulance licensure. That ambulance licensure will allow us to transport in times of need, and then also bill for those transports. It's quite an intensive data collection and application process for those ambulance licensure changes. So that's where we're working in District 3 on. Hydrant maintenance program, it's a work in progress. Priority we assigned to that is medium. We plan to assign Chief Newberry to manage that program. And again, we want to do it in the summer with cadets. So we did it a couple years ago where the cadets came in and did our maintenance. Right now, we currently have all of our hydrants flowed in the district, and so that's what we submitted to WSRB early this year, was that they have all been flowed and checked. So short term is we want to use the cadets to focus on painting and maintenance. Long term is to develop the long-term plan, so we'll do that with our strategic planning section. Quarterly progress reports, those have all been scheduled with the board for 2025, and that's what this is tonight. But on your board calendar, you'll see when these quarterly reports will be given. They're scheduled on there for you. Save and other grants, we're working on it. Priorities medium, and I say medium not because it's not of high importance, but we already had it in progress in 2024, so we're just continuing that goal. It is due in April. Chief Keeper is in charge of that project and he's working on that. We may have some issues depending on where the federal issues lie on funding for those types of programs, but we're on track and we're keeping going as if it will be funded. We also have gotten a grant for Struggle Well. So we're having Struggle Well come present to us May or June. We're going to do a class for free for District 6.
Can you tell me what that is? And public listing.
Yeah, and actually maybe Commissioner Means and Commissioner Piper can give you more information because 12 has gone through it, but it's essentially a class to help firefighters deal with trauma in life to mitigate the effects of PTSD.
Yeah, I went through a class on it. I think the best way to look at it is reminding folks, this is what you signed up for. You're gonna see some things. Here's some tools to deal with that through the course of your career. So if you do have some sort of event, there's a way back.
We got a grant for that?
Yeah, we did.
Nice.
So, Struggle Well is actually giving us the grant class. We also have Chief Scoggins coming to teach in November. So Chief Scoggins, Chief of Seattle Fire, will be down to teach a class, and he's doing that for the district pro bono. So that'll be great to have him down. He teaches a class post the George Floyd riots and how Seattle went through that process. And then in May, the applications for the Leary Foundation open up, and we'll be applying for those through more Struggle Well training and more PTSD training. They have been, the Leary Foundation is founded by Dennis Leary and has been very kind to fire service agencies, especially in these PTSD classes. And 12 actually did a lot of their Struggle Well through the Dennis Leary Foundation. So key actions to apply for the known grants, continue to identify new grants. So we're continuing to look for different things to apply. Meet NFPA 1710, working on it, priorities high. Key actions that we're working on right now is I'm reviewing NFPA 1710. It's more than just staffing, it's response times and other issues within it. We can address some of those staffing needs with the SAFER grant if we're successful with that. If not, we'll have to come up with other ways. But we're also going to include those parameters of 1710 into our standards that cover in strategic planning. Regionalize efforts and collaboration, working on it, priorities high. Again, EMS District 2 is probably our biggest area of collaboration right now. We are in the point where we're exploring some position sharing, so looking at neighboring departments to see if there's logistics position sharing, data analyst positions that we can share. Legislation, we've been working very hard the last 2 months, working with our legislators in the state to pass and fend off either legislation that was pro or against the fire service. And then we will be going, I'll be going back to Washington DC the end of this month with the Western Fire Chiefs, where our main goal is to talk about funding and grants and everything else that are on the chopping block right now in the new administration.
Do you know where the fire academy is right now, or have they shut down classes or not?
They're shut down.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, and I don't know that they have a new administrator yet either. And then 2 weeks ago, Washington Fire Chiefs and Oregon Fire Chiefs met together. We looked at different ways that we can collaborate between the 2 states. And we have some good ideas on how to collaborate with that, but we're trying to bring those 2 state fire chief groups together to work on different options. Modernize the budget process. We're working on it. Priorities medium. Staff has been meeting together to look at ways that we can modernize it. And the biggest thing we're working on right now is allocating budgets to different divisions within the agency. So before it's been the fire chief ran the budget. Now we're looking at disseminating those to different divisions and having that on the budget. So that is what I interpreted the board to mean when they said modernize the budget process. So
And there could be some, I don't want to step on Tina's toes. There could be some programs out there that might help as far as keeping track of things. And then I think it's important for the staff to know what the budget is.
Yeah.
And even the line.
Yeah.
You know, we're in one of those budget periods right now. We really don't know what the assessment is going to do. A lot of questions, and I think everybody in the organization should have a little bite of that when you meet with them or whatever.
Yeah.
And
we met with all the shifts over the last month and went over exactly that, the 34% carryover, the financial forecast, as well as other things happening with the district. We have our last meeting with shifts next week, and so then we'll have covered everybody within the department.
good stuff. Thank you.
Rent replacement plans, this is in progress, it's fairly medium, and the reason being is because we already have some of those in place, but they've been in place for a while, so it's time for us to review all those current plans that we have. And we also have newly assigned personnel that need to update developments for regular and larger purchases. So for example, we have Captain Bacon working in logistics, and I've asked him for a plan on PPE. Dennis Schaefer is supposed to be developing a plan on the life path issues, and then we'll go through those major purchases and developing these plans. So we've assigned ACs and DCs, and they will manage those projects. Workshop with board and staff, this is in progress. One of the things I wanted to approach the board about is it seems like an easy time before we go to the commissioners conference to combine that with the board workshop. And if you guys are amenable to that, we can schedule that either on the front end or the back end and give us some time to work on district specific issues.
Right, yeah.
Right, okay. Then we will get that scheduled in advance. Community paramedic program, not started. I put it as a priority low, and when I say something's low, it's not that I'm saying that I don't appreciate the board giving it to me as a thing. It's just when we prioritized what has to happen now, this was a later down the road one. So the objective of the community paramedic program, as I was told by the board, is to support those high frequency callers. And when I say deferred due to resource constraints, that's the community paramedic part, but I think we're meeting the objective of support high frequency callers. And the way we do that right now is we're incorporating cares. So our crews can call out cares when they have somebody that has more needs than we can get them, and that releases our crews off the call sooner. Chief Russell has also taken off low priority calls to skilled nursing facilities on our call volume, and that's reduced our call volume by about 700 calls. So if we don't develop a community paramedicine program, we still know that the objective is to support those high frequency callers, and we're doing that in different ways until we can get. more
Skilled nursing facilities, fours and fives we don't go to, or fives, or what are we not going to?
Yeah.
Skilled nurses, that have a nurse on site. so
Yeah.
that-
Yeah.
Maybe.
Or lift assist.
Lift assist in just a care home? Or-
Yeah. And then we are working, even though we don't have CARES, we are working closely with CARES with the buprenorphine, trial, where, when somebody's on opioid usage or overdose, we call out CARES and they start that medication treatment. It treats that patient on scene, but then it also releases our emergency resources to go back into service and be on calls. So we're part of that study and we're doing that with CARES. Support Service Volunteer Program, this is not started, priorities medium, we still carry some support service volunteers and this is their busy time of year when we start doing the home and garden fair, fishing derby, and lots of other stuff. But we are assigning personnel to community risk reduction, and those personnel will be Dave Schmicky and Chief Schmidt. Once we get Julie fully spun up into the HR position, Chief Schmidt will transfer into community risk reduction, overseeing Schmicky, and this is gonna be their primary goal with some other stuff. But we plan to do the onboarding after Station 61 is complete. Right now, where we're at, it's pretty hard to onboard new personnel.
How many actual support volunteers do we still have?
We have 4.
Four.
Want to get those numbers up. So data items, this has not started, it's low priority. This was one that I kind of needed the board to clarify. I'm not sure what exactly for data items you wanted me to address, but I do have it as a placeholder in the strategic plan. One of the things that I have done is I know it didn't seem that the consent agenda with the ESO reports were helpful, so I've dropped the ESO reports out until we figure out a different way to bring that data forward. But we know you guys want more, maybe it's something you could help clarify for me in the future and we can discuss it.
I don't know which commissioner put that on, or maybe they have some ideas. The one you guys asked for that, I don't remember.
I think it was more accurate data.
Actually,
Yeah, because I think the stuff we were getting was.
and then you were talking Cressa stuff too, right?
Right, it was, what we were getting from Cressa, just a way to clean that up and get.
I think that was the issue, was the Cressa data.
Okay.
Because, you know, Chief Russell will tell you that there's issues down there and
Yeah.
response, everything from response times to whatever. I don't know how to make that better, but I think we would appreciate, if we have to do it ourselves or whatever, more accurate information.
I think part of that was you partnering with other agencies too, on a data analyst or whatever, I know we talked about. So,
Yeah, and we did hire a data analyst for the standards of cover. She was able to get our data out, but then had to quit the project. So our data is scrubbed from Cressa for the standards of cover. So the data that they needed is taken care of that, but we'll continue to work on that. Community feedback mechanism, this one we haven't started, priorities medium, and I just need to assign personnel to it. Schmicky just returned to work on Monday, so he'll be our personnel to help get us through that, to help the community outreach. So we've completed 5 of the tasks, hired office professionals. We've completed that with the hiring of Julie and Kathleen. Financial forecast 2025 and beyond, that was presented to the board a couple of meetings ago. Evaluation of the care program. So we were in evaluation of that. We're looking at ways that we put the care program into progress or into process at District 6. But until the care program opens up to District 6, we're kind of limited, but we're using them in every way we possibly can. Improve audio visual equipment. That's, I've said it's completed because it's all been purchased at Station 61. And in place, and Schmicky has new purchases for the open house, so such as speakers and that type of stuff, so we should be good there. The other thing is we'll talk later in the meeting that, about broadcasting these meetings, and that may help clean up some of our audio visual stuff as well. Increase the number of firefighters, that's increased by 5 in 2025. I know that's not the end goal for the board, I know that goal is part to do with NFPA 1710, and we're not ignoring that at all. But there was two separate goals set out, once they increased the number. and one to look at.
Well, that would be a goal for next year if we have any money.
What's that?
That's probably a goal for next year if we have any money.
So next steps, we're just gonna continue to monitor the progress on your key initiatives, continue to communicate with the board, and then report out quarterly.
So when we do the support volunteer advertisement to get more people, or how are you gonna do it? Do we ask people if they speak Spanish or Russian?
Mhm.
I think we're missing the boat on the whole Spanish thing, especially in some of our schools and some of our neighborhoods. And I don't know if you get lucky and get one maybe, or you could, when you put out the announcement, but maybe put something out there in the near future, telling people we're considering it and have them at least think about it.
One of our new firefighters we just hired is fluent in Russian.
Russian.
Yes.
I would encourage us to keep looking at ways. I know my spouse is a teacher and asked if we have anybody who speaks Spanish. and
Yep.
We don't. So it'd be nice if we
Yeah.
could continue that both on the volunteer and the line.
Right, you have to get lucky on either one, but it'd be nice to have.
We have another firefighter fluent in Chinese.
Well, that's, you never can tell.
I have, Yeah.
It's really,
That's a good way for us not to give you 19 goals next year.
Well, it just, thank you. But, just so the board knows too, those are the 19 goals that you guys put forward for us, but, I didn't want to include everything we're working on every day. It's a lot.
It's a
There's
lot,
happening.
and I did notice you assigned a lot of those to staff, I think as a program. You can't do 19, but staff can maybe. So,
Appreciate the update. That's nice highlight of all the things that are taking place. Surplus of generator?
So the current generator at 61 is outdated. We can't use it at any of the other facilities. But we do need to surplus it so that they can get rid of it and start working around where it's currently located. So, it makes it easy if the board declares it surplus. at the chief's
do
discretion.
you know what that thing is worth?
I don't know.
It'd be
I'd
interesting.
ask Brad to get us do some research, find out what the value is before he puts it on any type of site.
And there might be another fire department that needs it, that could afford it, before we send it to
I have
Chris's house.
on the gov videos, but can we set a reserve on those?
Yes,
Okay.
we can, yeah, and we're gonna
Right.
find out the value
Right.
before we do anything like that, yeah.
Thank you. So, I'd make a motion that we authorize the chief to, get rid of our surplus generator, how best she can.
I'll second that.
A motion's been made and seconded to surplus the generator. All those in favor?
Aye.
Future meetings.
So legal confirmed that board meetings are no longer required to be streamed or recorded. Staff would recommend that we no longer do that, but it is the board's discretion.
I guess I like having the ability to view it, whether it's YouTube or, I mean, I assume if we, like, there's times when I need to get a Zoom link or whatever, so I guess I feel like we should probably let the public to see what's going on. And again, I'll leave it to you guys to decide if it's a recorded thing, if it's just a YouTube thing, but my preference would be is to continue to stream them.
My preference would be not to put it on YouTube worldwide, so if there's another mechanism we can use for people to,
Whatever's easier, I don't,
I would agree. I think that having the accessibility is important. There are those of us that may need to attend remotely and just allowing the community to continue to view and see the business of the fire district support. We've invested in audio visual equipment for the fire district, and yeah, I would prefer to see this meeting still accessible. I think I asked staff to determine the route and plan that they would like to see to allow that accessibility to take place. In other fire districts just have a standing Zoom access to meetings or whatever.
WebEx or whatever, yeah. Yeah, because I think some of the crews may not be here, might want to see what's going on, so I think it'd be good.
brought back to staff. I would prefer not to put it on YouTube, that's just me. If you can do a Zoom thing of some sort, or,
You like YouTube? Okay,
Yeah, I would just ask the staff to choose the most appropriate route to allow public access and then have the ability for us to access meetings remotely.
Is that the main objective, to be able to stream them and access them remotely, but not necessarily to watch a recording at a later time? Or is it?
I think a little bit of both. Like, I think if somebody missed the meeting or the crew's got a call and they're like, oh, I want to see what happened at the, they can go back and watch it. So.
Do you have any comments from the public on that? Or staff? Okay.
Tens and tens of views.
That sound like a plan we can work with?
Yeah, I think probably the easiest way is to continue what we're doing then. And we can look at the YouTube option.
Yeah, I don't think it has to go. We can look at that. Yeah.
Plan, thank you. Roundtable good of the order?
I think the only thing I would say is that's great to see the crews out, the tiller training and everything's getting done. I appreciate it. Just all the time we're spending up front to make sure crews are ready when the expensive truck gets here. I think we're doing great, good stuff, so I appreciate that.
It's great to see. I had a citizen mention it to me today that it was so impressive to see the ladder truck turn in their cul-de-sac where they live, so. Everyone's impressed to see it out. I've seen the crews here on the ventilation prop as well with it, so.
I understand the tire store called, thank us.
Yeah, you sure that
They're
way.
coming, they're doing deliveries.
Yeah.
You want to take action on rescheduling?
Yeah, oh, yeah, thank you for the reminder. I have that right down here. One additional new business piece is, our April 1st meeting falls, right, with the spring break. I'd like to propose that we move that meeting to the April 8th meeting.
I'll make the motion, we move the April 1st meeting, to April 8th.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to move the April 1st meeting to April 8th. All those in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, Secretary Taylor.
One last bit of the order.
Yeah, you bet.
March 24th at 6 o'clock at Station 21, Clark Cowlitz Fire and Rescue is hosting a informational meeting on tax increment financing, and Chief Miller asked that I present that to all you guys.
What day? I did see that.
March 24th at 6 p.m.
I think it's on Monday. I think it's Monday.
I didn't work, sorry.
Right at the main station.
Mhm.
That we need to authorize March issuance of payroll warrants, Clark County Treasurer, authorize March payroll direct deposit treasurer's check. Authorize March deposit of federal and FICA medical withholding treasurer's check. Authorize pre-authorization invoice transmittal and authorize payment for current bills.
So moved.
Second.
Second, and all those in favor? Aye.